What's up, traders? In tonight's video, I'm going to take a look at some FX pairs, a few cryptos, we'll check out the SPX, and we're going to discuss the trade I took today. And finally, I'll do a quick explanation of how I take 2/3 of my profits off the table with Oanda through TradingView. I will make chapters in the description below, so only the people that want this part of the video can watch it, and the rest of you don't have to. So, let's dive in. What's up, traders? My name is Heath, and this is Trade Talk. We're going to start with EURUSD. I'm still in this trade. I have my stop below this purple line here. Basically, this has it's found resistance off of that weekly wick way over here that I discussed in Saturday or Sunday's forex video right there. So basically, we have found resistance there, and it is currently correcting. Now, we still haven't closed anything like an 8-hour below this area at 1.20728. So we're kind of waiting to see what happens here. This is it's a powerful level. So if it trades below with a closing 8-hour candle and doesn't immediately retrace the entire range of that candle with a bullish candle, then I will be targeting 1.20114. New Zealand yen. Kiwi pushed up, and after we took, we made this little high here and we pushed up today. It looked like we were going to be aiming for that high. However, we got a nasty sell-off, and we did get a closure below this market structure area here. So basically what I'm looking for on Kiwi yen is for this area to fail on an 8-hour closing basis. If we get back above, the next area to look for failure would be 73.374 or 73.437. That area there, you could probably look for a shorter term scalp down to 73.003. This is not financial advice. This is just the ramblings of a madman on the YouTubes. Pound dollar. Pound dollar's trading in a range. Since we had this sell-off here, we've been basically just flipping everybody out, faking everybody out, and we're just in this range. Now, we did not close an 8-hour candle below 1.33846. 1.33819, which is an area that it needs to close an 8-hour below if it wants to test the 1.33119 level, which is this area here. You can see we have a nasty wick going on here right now, but we don't trade wicks, we trade closes. So watch for this closing candle. This candle closes in 5 hours, so you got some time. Remember, guys, we don't necessarily like to trade ranges unless price is giving us definitive direction, and that's what we look for with this strategy. The Bitcoin. So Bitcoin sold off. We broke below this green line was just that level that I had on Saturday's crypto outlook that I took off an hourly candle, and it held price until it didn't. And we closed strong. We closed strong below this level. I'm not quite sure why this level is here. Let me go look at it daily real quick to see if that makes sense. And it does. I took it off of these two candles right here. This last down closing candle before the push up. So that did close below that level. And then the next day we pushed back up into the level. Okay, so basically now we want to see an 8-hour closure below here. If we get that, we're probably going down to test 17,919. This is going to be basically the bull's redemption. They need to get a closure back above this area because you also have this descending trend line coming in to act as resistance. So if bulls can't push it back up and over that with an 8-hour closing basis, then price is probably going to test that 17,919 level. But if we do get that closing basis, the next area to target would be 19,375. S&P 500. The S&P 500 had a little sell-off today. We did close an 8-hour candle below these two candles here. So I have this line marking these candles here, And you can see price basically closed right on that line and is now slowly pushing back up. I'm not going to say I expect price to continue to roll over. However, if you're in the bearish camp and you want to look for a good place to possibly take a short, I would look for the 3692 area to hold as resistance and then possibly roll over from there. If you get an 8-hour closure back above that level, chances are we're going to test 3712. Gold. Gold has made a nice run off these lows that we made down here and had nice constructive bullish price action. Now we did close an 8-hour candle below the 1860 level that we've been watching, and we made a strong push down. We actually pushed below the 1842 level as well and closed below there. So I can see another test of 1825 possibly in the future for gold. However, if this area holds as support for a few candles, for a few sessions, you could possibly look to re-enter long, looking for 1842.44. EURCAD. Now I'm still in this trade short. However, today you can see that we did close the daily back below this level of 1.54957, and we are currently testing that level. Now this candle did come all the way down and purge the liquidity residing below this bearish candle here, marked out by these two arrows pointing at this, just to show that the liquidity was purged. Once that happens, there is no high probable setups because we don't know if this was bought up or if they're going to re-aim back down to that level to sweep any more stops. So basically what I'm going to be looking for going forward on this pair is I want to see at least an 8-hour closure above 154.957. If we get that, we can look for 155.293 to be tested. Okay, I am still short this, so obviously I want to see it fail and continue lower, but I don't always get what I want. Aussie yen. Aussie yen has broke out above this level that we were watching here, the 77.432 level. We have tested it, and again we have tested it, and currently making bullish price action up off this level. So basically, if you get an 8-hour closure above 77.736, you have to go back in time to find another possible level to target. And on a 3-day closing basis, that level is going to be 78.116. That's kind of a far stretch away from price, so I don't see it happening anytime soon. So that is also going to be your daily level as well. So it's the 3-day and the daily level. So that level of 78.116 is going to play a major role. You get a daily closure above that level, price is going to go up there and test these highs, which, what is that, baby? That is a target. That's right. If we continue to get bullish price action, you can bet your bottom dollar that I will be aiming for that level right there, 78.470. The bearish case. The bearish case is if we close an 8-hour candle below 77.432, we're going to look lower down to the 77.172 area right here. Retest of the 77.432 area, and a failure once we get a closure below that area would be a good area to look for a short opportunity targeting 76.904, which is this level here. CAD yen. Now CAD yen is the trade that I took today, so we'll go into a 15-minute chart. This was not a fantastic trade. It was basically a very small trade. I made 1% on it before this push down came out and took the other 1/3 position off because I removed 2/3 of my position right here at the 81.568 level because I was targeting that area because it was an old high outlined by right here. Now, my main target on this pair is this 81.912 area. Okay, so on a daily and an 8-hour closing basis, this is the last high we have made before being in this longer term range. Since June, we've been in this range. So I honestly thought that we were going to push up and close an 8-hour above this area here, the 81 spot 568 area, and then that my target 81 spot 912 would come into play. It did not. So that's just how it worked out. Like I said, it wasn't the greatest trade at all, but it was a profitable trade, and I will take that. Excuse me. Aussie, New Zealand. Now, even though we have seen a little bit of, we had seen this move up, it was based on a little bit of Aussie strength this morning and some New Zealand weakness, as New Zealand had a nice sell-off. So anytime you have New Zealand weakness and a tad bit of Aussie strength, you'll get a nice push up on this pair. This thing is structured bullishly on an 8-hour closing. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong one. I was getting ready to say it's not structured bullishly. It's still structured bearishly. However, it is pushing into a level that can be looked for as a short opportunity if it fails to close above 1.06180, delineated by this white line. This purple line is the underneath structure of this little bitty range that I put in here back on November the 16th. So if we get some pushes up in there and then some failures, then we could probably look to take this short. If we get an 8-hour closure above 1.06180, then I will be targeting 1.06654. Silver. So silver's gonna act like gold. Gold did the same thing. We pushed up into this market structure here. This is a daily market structure, I think. Yeah, it is, but it's not quite. There it is right there. So we pushed up, but we couldn't get no closures above there, not even on an 8-hour time frame. You can see that it was trying and has since rolled over. Now we have closed directly on this 23 spot 95 line, this area, and currently we have opened and pushed below that, but it's the closes that matter. So in 5 hours and 41 minutes, if this thing has pushed back above, you can look for the 24 spot 34 area to come into play, and then ultimately possibly the 24.77 area again. However, if you do close below that, then I'm going to look for 23.65.039, which is 23.65 to fail, and test the next spot lower would be 23.16. ETH has pushed down like the coin did, the Bitcoin. However, it has closed an 8-hour candle above this last market structure low here, being 567 spot 54. And we are currently retesting that area to see if it holds support. If it does not and we get a fail back down below that, you can look for 55 or 554.33, and then you can look ultimately if this market structure right here comes under attack, your next area to look for, which this market structure I'm talking about is 538.13. That comes under attack, you can look lower to 518.44. That would probably exhaust the weekly range if it even happens this week, being today is Wednesday. Ripple. Now, if you wanted to, you could draw a simple trend line from this high here. Let me get my magnet tool, pop it on there, and see what happens. If we get an 8-hour closure above that level, look for 0.6304 to come into play. Closure above that, you're looking for 0.6667 to come into play. Closure above that, I don't want to get too redundant, but you get the drift. 0.7091. However, if we get a bearish closure below this area here of, I'm going to just go ahead and call it 0.5273. Look for 46 cents to come into play. And last but not least, GLSI. Now these strategies on these low priced, low float momentum stocks is not for newer traders. If you want to lose all your money, go ahead and try it. However, I recommend you get a lot of trading experience under your belt before you try to trade these plays. Now this thing was absolutely phenomenally amazing today. I can't even begin to describe. This thing yesterday was trading at like $5. It gapped up today to 15.41. So that right there is a massive move just on a gap up. And today we reached prices all the way up to $157.79. Yes, That is a 1,000% move or a huge loss if you got stopped out or if you didn't get stopped out, because as you can see with all this gappy price action, these were all halts. Every single one of these were circuit breaker halts. These circuit breaker halts, if you're on the wrong side of it when it comes out, can destroy your account. If you're on the right side of it, however, you can make some money, man. This thing right here, that's an amazing move. That is a nasty move today. So many people got hurt on this, and I'm assuming there's a whole lot of people that made a lot of money on this. So I just wanted to bring this up, guys, because if you got a 1,000% gainer on the day, what kind of a YouTuber are you if you don't talk about it or at least bring it up? Now, I do trade these things, guys, but this channel is mostly built around FX and crypto and for the newer trader. However, once the channel grows, I'll start to talk about these a little bit more often and frequently and tell you about the trades that I took. I also trade options, and once again, that's going to come later down the road, because right now I'm just basically focusing on the Conquering the Markets trading community and the small YouTube subscribers I have now. All right, guys, if that's all you wanted from the pairs, then the rest of this video is going to be based on how I operate by taking out my position. Just give me 1 second here as I log out of my Oanda and put on the paper trading account. All right, here we go. Now, if you're new to Conquering the Markets, I use Oanda as my brokerage account, okay? And the order pane window for Oanda through TradingView is exactly the same as this window here. So basically, if you wanted to buy this thing, let's just say with let's just say 10 lots, okay? And you were, let's say you put your stop loss, 25 pips. We'll just use that because this is just an explanation for now. So just give me a second here. Let me get this stuff going here. Where is that stop loss? Well, if you don't get a stop loss, you can simply just click on the blue area here, the position area. Just click on it and it'll bring up this little pane here. And you can set a take profit level at the pips or at a price or at a percentage level. Right here's the percentage level. And you can toggle with all these things, guys, to figure out a way or however you want to do it. I recommend you do not risk more than 0.5% while you're getting started. Now, okay, so let me go ahead and click the stop loss button so that way it comes up. And for some reason that take profit popped up. Oh, because I had the arrow mark. Now, for instance, if I'm targeting this area here, okay, and I got my initial position on. Now, what I do to get 2/3 of my position out, if I'm pretending that this is like a major area that I'm looking for, I will set my take profit with 2/3 of my position, okay? How you do that is you select a sell window here, and you have to hit limit order, because if you just mark it in, it'll immediately deduct that away from your current open running position. So you must select limit order. You go up here and you get your price, which is right there, is going to be 1.21237. So you just type that in the order pane window, just like this. 237, and then you hit apply. So there you go. Now I always bring my sell level just a couple pips below the areas that I'm targeting, so that way, just in case the area that I'm targeting holds massive resistance, it would immediately cause this to come back down. So once my limit order is triggered for the removal of 2/3 of my position, I then immediately move my stop loss up to better than break even. So I would basically do that. I do not understand why it will not let me. Well, anyways, that's how I do it. I just basically move my stop loss up to better than break even. That way, if the market wants to come back down lower and trigger me out of the trade, I'm okay with that because I've already ripped 2/3 of my initial position out of the market. If you exit that position, your limit order that you threw on the trade is still going to be there. You have to physically X that position out as well because it's a bracket order. So essentially, if you do not do that, if price moves up there while you're in the sleep, you're going to take short that level that you had that limit order. So always make sure if you exit the position, you take off the limit order as well. And one last thing before I call this video a night, because it's getting extremely long. When you are taking your trades, okay, once you have a set pip stop loss, like a set amount of pips that you want to set your stop loss at, all you have to do is right here in this risk area, this percent risk area, if you just simply type in 0.5, it'll automatically update the position size for you. Okay, automatically it updates your position size, so you don't have to worry about it. But it all hinges on the size of your stop loss. The size of your stop loss. Once you have the stop loss size, say it's 75 pips or 100 pips, whatever it is, as long as you just type in 0.5 in this risk window and say it's some random 69 pips, it'll automatically calculate that position size for you guys. So that's how you do it right there on the Oanda through TradingView. That's how I trade with my real account, is through Oanda and TradingView. I love it. I have never had any problems whatsoever, ever doing it. So I recommend it. I absolutely love it because I use TradingView to chart. So if you can take your trades directly off of your charting platform, that's a beautiful world. So I hope that helps, guys. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one.